Natural treasures, incredible scenery, abundance in the desert, magical coastline, amazing islands, mountains, rich marine beds, whales, tradition, millenary art, culture, Ejido La Purisima, a natural treasure. In the northeast of Mexico, there exists a region that has been privileged by nature. The peninsula of Baja California and the Sea of Cortés share great natural riches with beautiful scenery that complement and contrast each other. The Sea of Cortés is one of the world's richest, and its islands are considered a humankind heritage. The peninsula of Baja California is a catalog of deserts crowned by enormous mountains and sprinkled with oases. Together, desert and sea, their contrast explodes in magical harmony. The most abundant resources in this rich region are concentrated in the state of Baja California Sur, where Mother Nature was the kindest, endowing a great natural treasure, is the territory that corresponds to the Ejido La Purisima. The Ejido La Purisima is one of the biggest in the country. Nowadays, its territory spans more than 425,000 hectares. Its territory crosses the peninsula from coast to coast, including more than 100 kilometers of coastline that surround plains and the spectacular mountain. Set deep in the Sierra de Guadalupe, a single geological formation stands out, the Cerro del Pilón. This enormous mountain dominates the horizon and is a representative symbol of the region. On its foot, abundant bodies of water give life to the green vegetation and refuge to different animal species. In front of the Cerro del Pilón is located the town of La Purisima that gives its name to the Ejido and is the base of it. The Ejido La Purisima was founded in the year of 1929. It consists of almost 400 landowners, and just like in any other communal lands in the country, they are organizations that were granted land by the government to benefit the landowners. The town of La Purisima and San Isidro are the most important in the vicinity and where ranchers and neighbors of small ranchers periodically assist to commercialize their products, mainly goat cheese, and also to stock up on food and basic products. The origin of La Purisima dates back to the year 1720, when Father Javier Nicolás Tamaral founds the mission of Santa Purísima Concepción in what today is known as Purísima Vieja. The body of water in this oasis offers marvelous scenery that contrast with the desert landscape of the place. Its surroundings are ideal for the practice of tourist nature activities. In an upriver journey to Ojo de Agua, where the water that gets to the foothill of El Pilón is born, You can walk in a brook between two vertical walls of stone that for thousands of years have been carved by the passage of water. They are spectacular landscapes with little human impact. A unique place is Paso de Conchas. Here, the passing of time and water have left exposed the sedimentary layers of what was once the bottom of the sea. Thousands of shells piled in layers are left exposed to sight among small waterfalls. An especially beautiful sight. "20 kilometers north of the city of Loreto, the Mar de Cortés coastline corresponding to the Ejido La Purisima begins. In its waters, every year, herds of hundreds of specimens of the biggest animals in the world are reunited. The blue whale and the humpback whale. The crimson coast of the Ejido La Purisima is more than 100 kilometers long and includes a coastline with steep borders, paradise beaches with sand, mountainous landscapes, bays, and natural sculptures, occasionally adorned by coastal oases. San Nicolás is one of the best places in this coast and counts with abundant fresh water. San Nicolás is a magical bay of unequaled beauty. Its north and south surroundings include the best beaches in the region. Médano Blanco, Punta Concepción, Punta Mercenarios, Las Dunitas, La Playita, and the beautiful inlet of San Lino showcase the catalog of coastal wonders in this coast. In the landscape of this coastline, on the seashore, rises a monumental mountain known as El Púlpito. To the front, the San Ildefonso Island adorns the horizon. Several marine mammals frequent its waters. Its intact sea bottoms are ideal for scuba diving practice. The extensive territory of the Ejido La Purísima includes the stretch of land that gives origin to Bahía Concepción, one of its most spectacular treasures. Bahía Concepción, an explosion of beauty. Its calm waters are sprinkled by beautiful islets that emerge from the bottom of the sea like marine jewels. Spectacular landscapes are the norm in this place. Without doubt, one that has the biggest tourist potential. In its inner coast, places like Santo Domingo, Punta Molares, El Salto, El Cardoncito, San Ignacio, El remate. And La Concha, among others. Bahía Concepción is a treasure from Ejido La Purísima. On the other side of the peninsula, in front of the Pacific coast that corresponds to the Ejido La Purísima, every winter thousands of gray whales swim on their way back to their place of birth. The sightings and friendly encounters with gray whales is a natural show exclusive to this coast of Baja California Sur. In these same waters, all through the year, the biggest yellow marine turtle population in the world congregate. Coming from Japan, the colonials spend their first 30 years feeding on these marine beds. Nowadays, the sighting of yellow turtles is practiced in front of these shorelines as an ecotourist alternative. The same abundance that reunites the yellow turtles in the area gives origin to several commercial fisheries like scalefish, abalone, and lobster, among others. Both coastlines of the Ejido La Purísima are an excellent option for the practice of sport fishing with species like tuna, dorado, marlin, and swordfish, among many others. Some of its beaches in the Pacific are ideal for the practice of surf and border with the San Juanico Bay, famous to the practitioners of this sport for offering some of the longest waves in the world. Dozens of kilometers in this shoreline correspond to the Ejido La Purísima, sandy beaches with a soft slope and framed by beautiful dunes. The southern limit of this coast is the Marsh of San Gregorio. Its canals a visual delight, ideal location for the practice of kayaking and marine birds refuge. The new highway that leads to San Juanico passes next to the parcels of the Ejido, communicating them with the rest of the state and Transpeninsular Highway. Along and through the immense territory of the Ejido La Purisima, many towns and ranches exist. They are communities that kept the Baja California Sur identity in their roots, uses, and customs. They are people that, keeping their own way of life, teach us to enjoy, know, work, and above all, respect this land. Carambuche. Paso Hondo. La Purísima Vieja. San José de Guajademí. El Ceribal. Las Huertitas. El Salto. San Jacobo. Aguapuerca, Monte Cabello, La Ramadita, San Francisco, San Vicente, and a great number more of towns and ranches survive immersed in different corners of the Sierra or shores of the Ejido La Purísima as living testimony of the Baja California Sur rancher work. Its inhabitants are a source of knowledge, an example of tenacity and work. Besides owning important natural treasures, in the territory of the Ejido La Purísima, an important cultural and artistic millenary heritage exists. Dozens of cave painting sites of Baja California Sur are located in the gullies and caves corresponding to the Ejido. They are the artistic manifestations that the ancient dwellers did thousands of years ago. The cave paintings of Baja California are considered one of the most important worldwide. Nowadays, scientists work on the rescue of some of these archaeological sites within the Ejido and prepare them to be accessible to a growing demand in cultural tourism. The inhabitants of some of the Ejido's ranches are honorary custodians of this cultural heritage. The immense natural and cultural heritage that the Ejido La Purísima has, projected as the Ejido with the most tourist potential in the region. Natural treasures, incredible scenery, abundance in the desert, magical coastline, amazing islands, mountains, rich marine beds, whales, tradition, millinery art, culture. Ejido La Purisima, a natural treasure.